Hey guys, what is happening? It is Daniel, and you're probably thinking, what the hells? Where have you been? Well, busy. Very, 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 very busy. So, I wanted to hop on and do a podcast and kind of give you an update what's going on. So, COVID. Wow. What a bunch of BS. Just hang on. I have a little. No, that wasn't the right one I wanted. I wanted this. There we go. Yes, it was a bunch of BS, wasn't that? Holy crap. So, throughout this whole pandemic, I was one of those essential workers, which is frustrating because I would see all my friends and people online be like, "Oh, I'm at home with my kids and family." You know, I'm like, "Okay, that's great." I had to work every day, on call all the time, so there was no break for me. It just got worse, to be honest. So my workload just went nuts. Because some of you may know I work in the medical community, so it was just constant, just delivering stuff, and looking back at it in hindsight, I'm like, wow, we kind of overreacted just a, just a little bit. So I am back. So we'll, for what it's worth, I have this new Tascam Mixcast 4, so it has like these little pads, so I can actually do little things. Like, so if I really want to be like, do that. There's a drum beat. How cool is that? So and I can turn it off. So, but yeah, I wanted to jump on and kind of give you guys an update of what's going to be going on. So you're like, oh wow, the podcast is back. It's kind of back. So after doing a lot of just soul searching and just seeing the social media landscape for the most part, and there's so many drumming podcasts out there, and I don't think I don't really want to do a drumming podcast anymore, if that makes sense. I just want to do a podcast that's about nothing, kind of like Seinfeld. It'll have a structure to it. So my wife and I have been talking about doing a podcast together, just talking about random stuff, whether it be parenting, kids, relationships, pop culture, all that fun stuff that's going on. So we're like, yeah, and it's easier. We can sit down and do it ourselves. I don't have to have a set schedule like I'm interviewing blah 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 drummer at blah 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 time. So the drum heads will still be kind of a thing. I'm kind of slowly transitioning away from so much drum stuff because it's oversaturated at this point, in my opinion. There's a lot of gimmicky drum stuff that just grates on me. I'm not gonna like give certain examples. It's exhausting is what it is. And so I've been doing, the Instagram thing and the podcast. Not so, the podcast was about 5 years. I've been doing the Instagram thing for like 8. So I've seen so many different trends come and go. It's like you have to do all these weird tricks to be, relevant. So I've been taking a long time and thinking about what I want to do. So I'm still going to be posting, some drumming related content on Instagram, but a lot of it's just funny stuff. Like I think of stuff I would want to see as a casual scroller. You're scrolling through like, oh, that's funny, that's fun. I don't want anything too serious. I kind of want to keep it kind of chill, relax. It's not a something I gotta stress out about. And like I said, there's so much drumming stuff on there, and there's so many great drumming podcasts. So I feel like that time in my, of that part of my life is gone, and it's kind of moved on, and I want to focus on other things. So like, obviously right here, I'm doing some video along with the podcast. So that's just one thing, but we'll be, my wife and I'll be videotaping those as well, recording it so we can put it on, just not on Instagram and, podcast apps and stuff like that, but also to start into the YouTube world. And there's 1,000 different YouTube drummers out there that are great. So I don't really want to try to jump on that bandwagon. I have 5 kids, so time is, it's very small. And I need to and I want to focus on different things. So one of the other things I've really been wanting to do, and since I'm not a gamer, but my kids love love these gaming videos they see on YouTube and whatnot, and I'll kind of casually watch along. And it is crazy what people want to see these days. And so I thought maybe I can try that. I can try doing something a little bit different. So my favorite game of all time came out, which was GoldenEye on Nintendo 64. But that was my favorite game to play. I'm not really a big gamer and stuff like that, but when that came back out, I've played it just a little bit. I want to go and stream that and do some videos of me probably sucking really bad at first. I'm like I said, I'm not really a good gamer. Like it took me forever to beat like the most simple games. So I thought that'd be fun. Just kind of doing like a mystery science theater, playing it and then talking about whatever it's going on in the background. And people like that. And I want to do something a little bit different. So I thought that's something different. Watching a almost 40-year-old man play GoldenEye again, and maybe some other games out there. We'll see how it goes. It's all very fluid, and we're gonna be finding what works, what doesn't. So yeah. So, but I have missed talking to you guys and talking just on a podcast in general because, like, I started this, like I said, I started in 2014. So, oh wow, it's not even 8. It's like 9 years old. Wow. And so next year would be the 10 years of me doing that. So that's quite a monumental thing. And I see someone kind of coming into my drum room. Hang on one sec. Hello, Bella.
Hello.
I'll be there in a minute. I'm recording something.
Okay.
So point in case is trying to find time uninterrupted. So as you can see in the background, hang on, the drums are still there. They're all mic'd up, and that's the other thing that kind of was frustrating me was trying to find time to not so much make the videos. It's the I am not good at recording drums. Like I have the Yamaha, whatever it's called, EAD 10, I think. But anyways, which is super easy, plug and play, just plug it up to your phone, hit record. And it sounds decent, but I've wanted to move into more professional sounding stuff. So like these good mics, throughout the whole drum set and things like that. So I really struggled with trying to figure that out, and I want to also work on that. So, I mean, like I said, some of the drum stuff will still kind of filter into everything that's going on. I just want to try something different. I wanted it to involve, my wife actually, her suggestion. So I'm like, oh, this sounds fun. And I'm sure I might lose some of you guys in the process. And I understand if you're like, this is not entirely what I signed up for. That's fine. I get it. You're not obligated to continue. Am I recording on the video? I think so. Just making sure. You're not obligated to continue listening to a show that you may not like, and I get that. So I apologize if you're like, oh, yay, it's back. Well, it is, but it's kind of different. So it is what it is. So I just wanted to hop on and kind of explain what was going on before, you're kind of bombarded with like, whoa, I didn't see this coming. I didn't see this coming. So, yeah, and that's the other thing is trying to figure out how to stream, how to play games, because I have an Xbox, but I'm going to try to play it through my computer. So I'm trying to figure all that stuff. So it's like 10 different things all happening all at once. And I'm trying to figure out the best process and how I can do this efficiently and not, want to pull out my hair in the process. So yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on. So again, thank you for listening to the Drumheads in the past, and those will still be available. And who knows, I may, depending on the success, because ultimately here's what I'm wanting to do. I don't want to work in the medical field anymore. I'm over it. I'm burnt out. It's just the same old all the time. And I want to be home more with my kids. And I would love, this is the, is to have this be the, what I do for a living, so, I see all these people that are like, oh, I'm making, $10,000 a month in ads and stuff like that. And yeah, that'd be great. But I just want to cover my basic expenses, and if that's what I get, I'm perfectly happy with. So I'm not looking into, breaking big and making all these millions of dollars, because that sounds just stressful in itself. But, just having enough money to be sustainable, and, where I can focus on content. Because right now, my days are packed. I mean, I wake up, I go to work, I I leave earlier than I used to, but it's still like it's 2 hours, and you're like, oh, it's 2 hours. Well, when you have five kids and one of them is a toddler who's starting to walk, it's hard. You've got to, I could be selfish and come in here and try to record content and let my wife deal with all the kids, and that would be terrible. That's not a good idea, not a great way to make a marriage work. This is 16 years. This will be 16 years we've been married. So, you've got to find the ebb and flow with everything. So you don't want to change everything. And, it's not, I don't feel like that's a great way to be a dad, is kind of like, all right, you guys go away. Like she just came in right now. It's like 12:45 at night. So she should be sleeping. But she likes to wake me up and make me really mad. That's when I want to do this. But, I can't. I think it up here. I don't actually do it. So, but yeah, so that's just kind of a rough, short podcast of what's going on. And I'm trying to think of anything. We had, some of you may not be on Instagram and Facebook and all that fun stuff. So I did have, my wife and I had our fifth child last year. So it was a surprise. It was like, ooh, we weren't planning this. So, made sure that's not going to happen ever again. So that's been occupying a lot of my time. And, he's funny. It's our nightly ritual is going into our family room, or playroom, if you want, or whatever you want to call it. And I put on music videos for us to watch and listen to. So like here lately, been listening a lot of grunge, a lot of Pearl Jam, a lot of trying to think of who else we're listening to. Tool's been getting mixed into there. The Toadies. It's just a Green Day. It's just a fun, blast from the past. So it's fun. Oasis is another one that's in there right now, and we just been having fun. He'll crawl around and walk around, listen to music, and he'll dance. Not, if he's dancing that good. This 14-month-old. I gotta get him. Gotta get him on the internet. Make him famous. There we go. Have me getting famous off that. So, so that, and not to bring it down to a sad part, but the guy I've been playing guitar with, or he's been playing. I've not been playing guitar. Let me reverse that. All right, so the guy that plays guitar in the band I'd play with at church had gotten meningitis, and I've not seen him since February of this year. It happened right after the Super Bowl, because his bet was when he's a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Got to work on enunciating better. That's something else I've been working on. So they won, and he made a bet if they won, he'd wear these super short hoochie daddy type style shorts to the next church, just like wildly inappropriate. We're not your typical church. We do, we dress up weird and wear weird hats and do funny things like that. But anyway, so we were all looking forward to that, and we get an email, or not an email, but a text message from his wife. Hey, he went to the hospital. It's it's halfway serious, and then a couple days later it was really serious, and we really thought that we had actually lost him, which was. Talk about a sad day. It was on a Sunday too. It was like right before we were going to play for the church. And so it's been a hard several months. It feels like this has been the longest year in some ways, but also the shortest. So it's weird, because we had made plans to actually do a podcast together, doing one about movies, because the other guy I play with, Brandon, is not as a big movie aficionado like my friend Ryan and I were. So we thought, hey, well, why don't we do a podcast where we kind of see what you think this movie is about, and then we'll talk about it, and just have fun with it. We're always riffing around. So that was on the agenda, and obviously that hasn't happened. So he's still in the hospital. Still, he's not completely there. So, and I don't know if he'll ever be there. So that's been very stressful. So it's just been things like that with on top of COVID, having another child. It's been just busy. I mean, it's the only other way to put it. It's just been extremely busy, and just trying to prioritize what's important. And as important as maybe doing this is, there's just times that I need to be doing something else, which is being a father or being there for my friends, and being there for my wife, whatever. So it's just a give and take. And right now, where I'm in more of the, I guess we could say, giving part of my life, where I'm not taking so much from other people. I'm having to give a lot of my attention, a lot of my focus, a lot of everything, mainly to my wife and kids, but also to work, and then to a certain, the people I play with, play music with, like in Ryan and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's been it. I've really, like I said, I've really missed getting on and just talking. It's good to get these thoughts out, that you got them stored up here, and it's good to verbalize them and then get them out into the world, and get them off your chest. So, and ultimately, I think that's what the podcast is going to be with my wife and I, and just taking funny things that go on, you see online. Like, I think one of the first things we were talking about. Have you guys seen that? The not McDonald's, sorry. My apologies, McDonald's. Burger King has like this giant Whopper that's nothing but a bun with like 50 slices of cheese in it. I'm like, nope. And just talking about funny things like that and getting her thoughts. Because, when you scroll through, you see the most random stuff sometimes. You're like, whoa, what is that? Okay, save on that one. That's interesting. So, like, today, just going through all my save stuff to find, like, here's a panda bear that keeps falling. Like, all these panda bears, like, they're like suicidal. It seems like they're just like trying to kill themselves slowly, and it's not like mankind that's trying to take them out. They're trying to like take themselves out, which is weird, but also funny at the same time. So, things like that. All right, well, I'm going to hop off. I just wanted to say hi and give you guys a little bit of an update of what's going on, so nobody is caught off guard. And so, yeah, the drum stuff will still happen. We're still trying to come up with a name for the show. So if you see that the drum heads change names, because I'm just going to use the same feed. So don't get freaked out if you're like, well, this is not what I was expecting. So we're still working on some names. I had actually suggested one earlier, because this is the most common thing we hear in our house constantly. Wait, one more minute. Or it's always like when we're trying to get them to do something like get dressed, time for bed, brush your teeth, and you'll get this, wait, 1 minute, 1 more minute, 1 minute, so we may go that route just because it's like something we hear all the time, and it's kind of a funny inside joke. And if you're a parent, you have definitely heard that. Wait, you're like, no, I need you to do it now. It's like my daughter came in, the latest person ever. It's like if you tell her, we're leaving in 5 minutes, she takes that as I have 5 minutes to not do anything, and then do this mad dash to get ready for dance, whatever else we're doing. And it's like, no, we got to go. So now I've just been lying to her and telling her it's like we're leaving in 15 minutes when we really have 30 minutes. So when she, messes around for that 15, it's, we're like actually ready to go. So a little, not reverse psychology. Well, I guess it could be reverse psychology. It's kind of just trying to be ahead of what she's thinking. So, all right. Well, I'm going to put that child to bed, and I'm going to go to bed myself. So, but be on the lookout for some new, interesting content. I hope you guys like it. I hope, this will be something that you guys will be interested in and have some positive feedback. And, we would love to hear what what you'd like to see as well and hear, which is the other thing, is the seeing part. Because usually a podcast, it's always a hearing thing. But, boy, I'm telling you, I started the podcast at the wrong time. I caught the very tail end of like the niche podcast boom. Like I would say, like from like the Mark Maron, Adam Carolla, I'm trying to think who, Doug Benson, who were doing podcasts like in the 2008, 9, 10, period. It was just that was a big explosion, but it was very still. People were like, "What's a podcast? What's a podcast?" Now it's like, "Oh, I love this podcast. I love that podcast." So like now I don't have to explain what that is to them. I can just say podcast. Like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." But when I first started, it was like, "So what's a podcast?" You'd be like, and they're like, "I don't get it." So it's on radio? No, it's not on radio, and yeah, like it's different. You can curse. You can't curse on radio. But now it's everyone has one, and some people shouldn't because there seems like a lot of just random podcasts out there that are just people are like they're bored, and I think that's part of COVID. COVID made a lot of people famous that kind of shouldn't have been, but that's either here or near there. But it's just an observation I had, especially looking at it from a creator standpoint, and be like, well, okay, a lot, and it still happens, and yeah. All right. Well, hope you guys are all well. I'm looking forward to talking to you guys as much as possible, and just be on the lookout. I'm gonna try to keep the drum heads still just drum heads, but it'll probably be a lot more random stuff. I think I'm gonna just take over the moniker of the drum heads, like just that's a name, like Mr. Beast, but Mr. Beast is actually a guy named Jimmy. So, he's Mr. Beast, but he's also Jimmy. And so, yeah, I'm the drumheads, but I'm Daniel. So that's the, where I'm going to kind of look at it from. It's like just another avenue, another way to, put out content. So, all right. Well, I'll see you guys later. Take it easy. Love each other. Be kind. And till next time, I will see you later. Peace. Please, you're too nice. I like this little soundboard. See ya.